Hey guys, it's Austin with Out Jeeping. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys these new LEDs that got sent to me by Nikoko. Now I'm going to be using these LEDs to replace my A-pillar lights right here. So let's take a look at them. Alright, so the kit I got today, they are the 3-inch 18-watt cubes. And in this kit, they come with 2 cubes, 2 bags of hardware, a wiring harness, and we got a remote. So I'm going to set this up and demonstrate what it can all do. Alright, so one thing I noticed right off the bat is they got some nice waterproof connections in between the wire harness and the light, so that's always nice. Simply just gotta plug it in, and then they got a plastic nut that you put on this, and then it keeps it nice and tight. Then you also have 2.5 meters of wire for each light. Alright, so for the controller over here, they claim that this is waterproof, but I wouldn't use it in any wet climates at all. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of a gap inside there. So obviously water can easily get inside there, and I'm just going to be mounting this underneath the dash so I shouldn't have to worry about it. Now over here on the opposite end, we got 2 wires. They used to have some eyelet connectors on there, but I cut them off for demonstration purposes. And they also got a nice 30 amp fuse, so that's always good. So I'm just using a 12 volt drill battery for demonstration purposes. And as you can see, right when you connect it, the lights automatically turn on. So if you have an existing switch for your lights, you can simply wire this into it, and every time you turn on the normal switch, it will turn on to the basic setting of the light. Alright, so here we have a remote. As you can see, there's a bunch of different colored buttons, and those are for all the colors on the lights. Also, we got some different modes on here, and they have different patterns you can change. And I think there's like 50 or whatever different settings. You can also change the speed, and then they got an auto button so it can go on whatever it wants to. Down here, we have 4 buttons for the normal light. We have AL, which I think it's like for amber if you have that option. These lights do not, so it's just going to turn on normal white. And then we also have flash, so it can flash like a strobe light, and I think there's like 4 different settings on different speeds. And then we have the off button for the normal lights down here, and then we have the off button for the color lights. So let's see what they can do. I'm just going through all the colors right now. Now you can go on different modes, then you can also speed them up too. And then for the normal white lights, alright, very cool. I'll post a link in the description below on where you can find these lights at. They also make a bunch of other configurations of lights if you want different sizes. So now I'm going to be installing these on my Jeep Cherokee. It's not going to be too in-depth because I actually have a video on installing Cree LED lights. I'll post that in the description below also. But I'm just going to go on a general overview on what I'm doing. So let's get started. Alright, so just a recap on how I wired these lights previously. I got the light right here, and then I have the wire running down inside the door jamb. And then I had the wire go underneath the dash all the way to the fuse panel on the passenger side. And then the passenger light is basically the same, except it's a lot shorter wire and just goes straight down to the fuse panel. So all this wire that's underneath the dash, I don't need anymore since it comes with a new wiring harness. And all I need is the wires that come straight from the rocker switch on the dash. And then I'm going to be hooking that up to my controller and then using the wiring harness that's provided and wire that underneath the dash all the way up to the lights. So first thing we can do is rip out the old wiring harness and remove our old lights. Alright, so I got the wire removed from the light. Now I'm just taking a 17mm and removing the light from the bracket. Alright, now we can do the other side. Alright, so what I'm doing with the new wiring harness is I'm tapping it into the existing one. So what I did is I put a spay connector on this end, and this wire leads all the way to this relay over here. And this relay is powered by the rocker switch that's up on the dash, and that turns on and off the lights. Now over here, we got our ground wire that comes out of the box, and then I also have a ground wire over here, and I just snipped it off from the existing wiring harness and put a spay connector on that. And this ground is grounded on the bolt by the fuse box, and that's going to connect up into there. So now I'm just going to tuck this all away nicely with a couple zip ties, and then next I'm going to take these wires over here and I'm going to route them to each side for the pillar lights. Alright, so with the little bracket that was provided as the hardware, I went and installed it onto this light. They come with 2 Allen head bolts, and as you can see, one goes on this side, one on that side, and then there's 2 little nuts you can feed in there. And then once you get it on the bracket and you want the light where exactly you want it, then you can tighten these down and then it'll hold the position. Same with this thing. This bolt bolts down to the bracket on the Jeep, and then you got a little nut and then a lock washer. And then this can adjust your going from right to left. So now we can just take this, feed it through the hole. Then we can take our washer and nut and thread it into place. So now, as you can see, you can move it around wherever you want, and then you can tighten it down, and then it'll hold the position. Alright, so here in the door jamb, we have our 2 wires, and we're simply just going to plug them in and then tighten up the plastic cap. Alright, now we can tuck away any extra slack and then we should be done. Alright guys, I just finished with wiring up these lights and it seems like they're working great. Now in the description below I put a link where you can find these lights for yourself. Also I got another link on installing Cree LED lights where I go more in depth on wiring and everything like that. So make sure to subscribe and like to the Altjeeping YouTube channel, and as always make sure to comment below if you have any questions and I'll be happy to answer. So until next time, we'll see you in the next video.